What y'all drinking on though?
I have right here. I have a fuzzy navel type of drink. I don't drink, so just for this show, I'm gonna be drinking with you guys, bro. What?
Right now I just got a little. 18.
Hey,
It's
so
the gold. I usually drink silver, but I just had this laying around, so don't worry, I'll be better prepared next week.
Right, that's a quality drink.
I'm drinking Hennessy and pineapple juice or a little lemonade.
Personally, I like to apologize to the Korean and the Chinese people myself for saying that they all look alike.
Right.
So, and I think that's racist on my part, talking about your past and ways.
You didn't clarify.
You just went to the extremes.
What happens if there's not a football or basketball season? What y'all gonna do then?
See, that's one of the hard.
Hey, we were waiting on bro. Fans had about 3 cups.
Nah, I ain't going. Hey,
I said wait.
I ain't going. I'm here, man.
There you go.
I'm comfortable, man.
Yeah. What's up? What's in your cup, bro?
Yo, I got a little something in my red cup special. Nothing but some deli on.
Oh, okay. I got the usual with my cherries.
Why you gotta say it so smooth, Mikey? Yeah, it's a little something in the cup, man. Hey, man, I do want to say this, man. Anybody want a job with us, man? We accept the application right now. If anybody want a job.
No, we not paying. We not paying.
You ain't paying, though. We pay a little attention. That's the only thing we paying.
That's all.
We make you famous. You want to come to Death Row? I let John Thorpe, Mike E, Tino Hefner, or Alan Hill.
Not on Death Row.
My dad wanted to abort me. My mom saved my life. There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy. Hey.
Hey, what's up, bro? Let me ask you this. Are you gonna vote for Kanye West?
Listen, I'm not at liberty to discuss who I'm gonna vote for and who I will not vote for. That's why when you walk into the little ballot, it's a secluded place for you and you only. So I guess the people who check my ballot to know who I voted for.
Tino, where you go? He gone.
Yo.
Hey, you vote for Kanye, boy?
Hey, I got nothing against Kanye, man. I got nothing against him.
Does that mean you voting for him?
The dude in the back gonna steal him with a mean two-piece or something, boy, and give him a knot like give him a knot like this.
Hey, bro, hit him with the face like, what? Is you crying, boy?
You performance to be announced really soon, and it's gonna be watched on pay-per-view on Triller platform. 8-round exhibition called Frontline Battle. Me and Roy Jones. It's just gonna be amazing. I'm looking.
I can hear my daddy right now saying, "Ain't nobody want to see 2 50-year-old man fight."
Yeah.
I want to see
balls hanging out.
But are you gonna watch? Y'all watching? I'm watching.
Hell yeah.
I'm watching.
Hell yeah, I'm watching.
Hey,
Roy Jones knock him out in the second round.
you got Roy Jones winning.
Second round.
Second round. They only going 8 rounds. There's no way they make it to the 8th round. No way.
Hey,
no one's gonna be knocked out.
Second round. I say 5th round. They both be tired of eating inhalers.
Man, they're gonna be tired after that first round. This is go 2 rounds. They gonna call it a day. Who you rooting for, bro?
I'd rather see a foot race between them two.
I don't want to see none of it.
That's just an
old
fight. I mean, you're gonna watch it for the entertainment wise, but it ain't.
Who gonna win, bro?
I say it's a draw.
If we make it to the 5th round, that's great. That's a great.
Most boring name in the history of sports. We'll tell you that ESPN is reporting that effective immediately, Washington, D.C.'s NFL franchise is going to be calling itself, quote, the Washington football team.
You are a Cowboy fan, which that's hard to be. Is the game against the Washington football team now going to feel the same knowing that they are called the football team?
Hey, that's a good question. I mean, we've been stepping on them for a long time, so it's just
They punted on the name. They punted. We just go. They could have went with the Washington Presidents, but they didn't. They just went with the football team.
it's really embarrassing for that. They have a whole they organization has been an embarrassment for a long.
All right, I will be right back after these messages with Mayor Ian Balatuis.
Scary moments for customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges. But
We're here with Burlington Mayor Ian Balatuis on Red Cup Special. How you doing, Ian?
I'm good. Thanks for inviting me over today.
I appreciate you for joining us. Tez, you had the first question. Go ahead, man.
What's up, Ian? What you drinking on, man?
I got a Burlington Beer Works alt beer.
What?
Supporting our local brewery.
So let me go ahead and get into the first question then. How did the Beer Works start about? How did you come up with that idea? Or if you came up with it, just give us a little background information on that.
Well, like all good ideas, it started over a good beer. A friend of mine, after I graduated from college, who was rooming with me, taught me how to brew beer. And we started brewing beer on weekends on our back deck. And after a couple batches, we realized we had too much beer for the two of us to drink. And so we started inviting friends over. And they helped us drink some of that beer. And then they kept saying, well, this is pretty good. When are you going to open a brewery? And the conversation grew from there. We looked at opening a brewery in downtown Burlington, put together a business plan, started looking at properties. And this is 2009, 2010, so still in the recession, tough time to get a business going. And so we said, this is cool, but we don't think we can make it work right now. So we kind of put that business plan on a shelf. And then a couple years later, was at a downtown brainstorming session and ran into Eric Henry. If you're familiar with him, he's done a lot of great work on the company shops market and local manufacturing here in Burlington. And he pitched the idea to me to, what if we did a brewery that was a co-op, like the company shops market that was owned by the community? And the idea just grew from there. We put together a community board of directors, started looking for buildings, and in September 2013 officially kicked off the ownership drive, started selling shares. And we opened almost 2 years, well, I guess a little over a year ago, March. So
Hey, I do have some shares too. I did buy some, by the way.
nice.
Cool.
I think it's cool because everyone could buy in at $100, and it was a way for everybody to own a piece of our downtown.
Yes, that's what I did. That's a dope concept, though.
Yeah. So I think it's really important when a community has that ownership in the revitalization of their community. So everybody's got skin in the game and can appreciate it.
So this idea came from a party.
It did.
So you came down here, you went to school at Elon. That's where my wife went. How does a person from Minnesota become mayor of Burlington, North Carolina? And it's at such a young age.
It's a great question. I think everyone thought I was crazy when I first ran for office, but it just made sense at the time. A friend of mine prodded me in 2013 to toss my hat in the ring, and I'd been involved with the brewery project. We'd been going for a couple of years trying to get ownership going and getting people to think about our community a little differently and how we could all reshape it together. And so jumped in, filed to run for mayor. but said, growing up in Minnesota, I've got a lot to learn about this community, and there's no better way to truly represent a community and truly learn about a community than to go out and talk to the people in that community, and to do it face to face in the neighborhoods that they love and that they want to see grow and stay strong, or improve. And so I went out and knocked on lots of doors all across Burlington, thousands of doors. Spent kind of August through November of my 2013 year knocking on doors and having some amazing conversations with folks all across this community. And at November, we lost that election, but we got 35% of the vote. I was 28 years old at that time. And we started to build this amazing relationship with the community. So in 2014, I ran for state legislature, state house, and we did the same thing, got out, talked to people, continued to build that relationship and talk about the community. It was, again, I got to keep learning about Burlington and Alamance County. We lost that election, didn't give up. And in 2015, when the mayor announced he was retiring, folks were calling me up saying, hey, Ian, you got to run again. We want you to keep trying. We appreciate the dedication you put into this. Keep at it. This might be your year. And so we got back out, knocked doors for another 3 months, got back out across the community. And that November, we won pretty resoundingly with a 10-point margin at age 30. So it took a lot of hard work. But I mean, when you love a community enough to want to get out there and work with the people who love it just as much as you do, then it just comes together in many ways.
Hey, can I ask a question? Since
Sure.
you've been down here, how many times have you said "you betcha"?
You betcha. Only when I'm trying to prove I'm got a little Minnesotan blood in me. So
Yeah. I know. You betcha.
Have you ever used the words yonder in a sentence?
Yonder? No, yonder's not in my vocabulary.
Nah, that's not from where he's from.
Yeah.
It's a whole different lingo that way.
Yeah. It took a little while to break. I used to call soda pop.
Pop, yeah.
So confused everyone when you're talking about pop. So
You guys have a connection now. Mike went to school in Minnesota.
Did you really? Where'd you go?
I was in Hibbing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was north.
Yeah. Very good. And then you came back down. Did you enjoy the winters up there?
Man, that's a conversation off the air right there.
My wife's from Orlando, Florida, and she's always baffled. We go up there for Christmas, and she's like, what is this? People are still outdoors. They're bicycling and running. And it's like adult summer camp, but it's year-round. When there's 3 feet of snow, they're still doing like summer camp activities outside.
Yeah,
It's a unique place. So.
By October, it's like a foot of snow.
Yeah.
It's coming down.
I still have this thing where we're thinking about like Halloween costumes. Like I've got to be able to wear long underwear and a winter jacket under this costume in case it snows, right? And then down here it's 90 degrees when it's Halloween. So
it ain't 90 degrees. But it is definitely warm. Okay, let's keep the interview going. So one of the things that actually Mike told me about a couple weeks ago, when I went to go see him in his barbershop, he said, did you see Ian at the sitting down at the table? This was during the press conference of the Confederate Monument.
Yep.
Yeah. So now I enjoyed it. I take it as Mike enjoyed it as well. The question that he had was, why were you sitting down? He just thinks tall people should stand up, I guess. So then who came up with the idea just to sit at the table?
I walked into the room and they had already set it up that way, and I figured I'd go with what the setup was. So, yeah.
So take us through the statement that you made and how everything kind of worked out with that.
Yeah. So we as communities leaders across Burlington and Alamance County came together, recognizing that there was a piece of the monument conversation that really wasn't getting heard. People have been calling for that monuments, some action to be taken on that monument for a long time. And we felt like it wasn't getting real face time in front of the commissioners. They had kind of indicated that they weren't going to take action on it. So we recognized that there was starting to be a real strong safety concern. There's already been kind of conversations about systemic racism, what the symbolism is of that monument, but also economic impact when you've got a potential employer coming to the community and they see that in the headlines as well as they drive past that thing and they say, wait, this is a community okay with that. I'm getting feedback. So this is a community that's okay with having something like that sitting at the epicenter of their government. There's a lot of messages that get sent by that. But we said it's time that we make a statement that action needs to be taken. And it actually came together with a number of letters that people were already starting to write. And we were all reaching out to each other saying, what do you think? How's the best way to proceed? And we said, let's bring it all together because our voices are stronger together, especially when you've got players like Cone Health and Elon University and major employers like Fairy Stone Fabric at the table and Alamance Foods saying this is what needs to be done. It's right. It's the only way for our community to progress. And so we put that letter together over a span of about 3 days from the initial kind of short conversations and then presented it with its 40 signatures. By the end of the week, it had over 300 signatures of community members from around Alamance County. And those were leaders of faith organizations and businesses and elected leaders, including mayors from at least 4 municipalities. So I'm really proud of everybody coming together because I think what we did was put a line in the sand and say, this is a valid conversation that needs to be had. And there are leaders in the community who stand behind those folks calling for action on this, and we're not walking away from this issue. And that's where we've stood ever since. And I'm proud to see more folks coming in to support that. We're not sure when action is going to be taken, but I think it's important for folks to recognize that's a safe and appropriate conversation to be having about the respectful relocation of that monument.
Hey, Tez, I just seen you break in here. You got anything you want to holler at them about?
Man, I just want to ask you, what can you compare that beer to, like as far as taste wise?
Like a Red Oak.
A Red Oak?
Yeah. I'm not a huge hoppy IPA fan, so I appreciate something with a little more malty character like a Red Oak.
Yeah, man. That's all I really had.
Hey, bro, you want to get in on this?
I wouldn't have thought he was a beer. I thought he was trying to watch his figure, you know. But salute, toast to you, Mayor.
It was funny. So after I got elected in 2015, we do a public after party for watching the results. And we were doing it at Mellow Mushroom that time. We did it at Beer Works this recent time. And we always invite everybody's welcome to come, opponent candidates, like anybody. Because it's like, we just worked hard for months at a time. Let's all celebrate. Let's appreciate that we got more folks out to vote and engage. But anyway, when they came and announced the results and I finally heard that I'd won after 3 years of trying, the press happened to snap a picture of me like toasting with my beer. And I got a couple comments from folks. You got to be careful now. You're mayor. You can't have a beer in your hand. It's like, I think that ship sailed a long time ago when I started working on a brewery. So if somebody's opposed to beer and me, that's already my blood basically. So.
Well, at least you're honest with your people. I mean, you can't go wrong that way.
Hey, Alan. Oh, there he is.
There we go.
Hey, go ahead. Explain this picture.
That picture, that is from my wedding day. That is getting ready for my wedding in 2015, which ironically, I'll tell you a little story after that. But so my wife and I both wrote notes to each other privately and then shared them with our groomsmen. So my best man had just given me this note from my wife. And so I was reading over it and it was very touching. So,
right.
You got to cry now.
Hey, Alex, take it off the screen.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
I like to ask the mayor if he shaves. Do you have any facial hair? It just seems like.
I do. I cannot grow a even beard to save my life. This side's always really patchy. So
you need tips, man? Let me know. You know, I got plenty of tips.
let me know how to grow it in thick on this side. Otherwise, I just end up with a beard off this side. It's
Listen,
awkward.
What about a mustache? I mean, just a little strip. I find it hard to trust people with no facial hairs.
With no facial hair. I've usually got like a 5 o'clock shadow going on because I don't shave but every like 3 days. So there's something there.
I'm with it. You come with a clean face, I'm gonna look at you funny. I'm gonna be like,
right.
you know, he's a mayor, but just leave a little strip, man. Just a little line.
I'll work on it. So
Got you.
COVID time period, I started experimenting with growing my hair out. Now I got curls. So maybe facial hair going on. Yeah.
You gonna get some cornrows?
Don't get no cornrows, man. You will lose in your next election. I can promise you that. All right. You got anything you want to say? Anything shout outs you want to give out?
Talking to me?
Yeah. This is the part of the show we let people give shout outs.
I mean, just right now, a shout out to everybody who's doing the Black Lives Matter movement, everybody who's standing up in their communities and calling for action. It's hard. I know people are getting literally beat up as well as beat up on social media. We just had our Black Lives Matter banners stolen, desecrated, vandalized, and then stolen. This is a tough time to be taking a stand, but it's going to take courage, love, and respect right now. And I appreciate everybody who's taking that stand. So shout out to all the folks across the country and the world.
All right. I appreciate that. That's what we're going to put out. Thank you for coming and joining with us. And until next time we see you. Also, before you go, we are open for any candidate that wants to come on this show. And we are not hard-hitting.
Before you go.
Yeah.
You got to invite me over for beer one day.
All right. We haven't been brewing lately, but excuse me.
Next time, make sure you got your red cup.
A few too many, but yeah, we'll have you all over at some point. So.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you all.
All right, man. Thank you.
Oh, he on the grass with it. Oh, hey, they wildin'. Hey, they showing all terrain. You ain't gonna stop them. Oh, sir, are you straight?
Hey, look, this is a new segment we're gonna add in with the sports funnies. This video had me crying laughing. Alan, can you show that video? Let's talk about how do you set up a video like so for a dummy? First of all, and like he was very seriously running it. It's a dummy. Let me get your comments, John.
Hey, the best part of the video is what bruh is running. And he literally getting it, bruh. He's like literally getting it. And he won. And he was so excited.
We thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back here same time, same place.
Peace.
We out.